I find really interesting to think about and talk about with people is what and who and what kind of experiences influenced in the past and now in the present the way you look at the world and relate to other people. So through what kind of lenses or glasses are you looking through on a daily basis? So what is distorting your reality? And it's not always a negative distortion. Sometimes it's also a positive distortion. But I find it very important to, like, especially with social media nowadays and watching the news, to realize how much impact these news have on us, and even opinions from people we care about. So for instance, yesterday my boyfriend went through my Facebook, scrolled down, and I didn't go through his, but I was wondering, is it different what I see on a daily basis than what you see? And yeah, of course it's very different, but it also shapes my mind in a different way that it shapes his mind in what he is seeing. And that's what kind of started my thinking. And then when you listen to the news, for instance, we were in the US lately, and there was this show where these cops were arresting a guy who was just standing outside of a store, and he might have possessed drugs, but they started asking questions and he didn't really want to answer, and he had no weapons. There was no sign of him trying to even defend himself and attack the police when they started to put his hand on the back. And then it ended up being torture with tasers, and he was just laying on the floor and was completely exhausted from all this abuse. And you would just think wow, and now we are supposed to think that these cops are so good and protecting us from the evil drug addict. And it really changed something in the way I looked at TV, and I realized even advertising is very, very different in the US compared to Canada, what we see here. And I felt after we switched off the TV that I was filled with anxiety and anger, and I didn't really know where to go with it. And it was really intense. And also experiences from the past. For instance, if as a child you got bitten by a dog, it will influence the way you look at dogs in the future. And I think that's a great example, because you will always encounter dogs for the rest of your life. You will always be exposed to dogs at some point, and you will not be able to avoid it or run away from it. So wouldn't it be smarter to just confront your fear and try to heal this negative experience that you had? Because you can run around and hate dogs and be scared of dogs for the rest of your life, but is this gonna make your life easier and more enjoyable? I don't think so. And when it comes to social media and news, then force yourself to talk to people who have different opinions and have healthy discussions without being too stuck on your opinion and be curious about other people's view on the world. I think that's a very healthy thing to do, because I could tell you, for instance, this guy that keeps coming to the store, he's a very good person because he's a priest, and he shares all his knowledge with the church members on a not daily basis but weekly basis. So I give you kind of some glasses you can look through and look at this person, and then the next day I can say, oh, and the same priest mistreated a dog on the street last night, and I saw him doing it. So all of a sudden you're like, oh no, I used to respect and look at this person in a positive way, and now Aurora tells me this about him, and now I don't like this person anymore. And so me, in this case, I'm the influencer of how you see this other person, and just be aware of how receptive you are to such to how receptive you are to such a change of perception or even opinion, because what I'm telling you might be true, but please know the impact it has on that third person when you believe me as a friend or family member. It's hard to put it into words, as you can see, but I think my main message is be critical with what you hear and even see on TV, because it might influence your view on the world or on other people in a way that you are not aware of. And I think I just want you to be aware of it, because it's a very dangerous thing that can happen, that creates separation and hatred among people. And I think if we are critical with for instance in this case, when it comes to the priest and me telling you something, then no, I think I leave it at that. I don't want to make it more complicated. So think about it and tell me what you think, and if you have questions, then let me know, message me, and we can talk about it. I'm excited to hear your thoughts about it, and have a great day. Bye bye.